This is a remarkable specimen in that the shell has been preserved in such a way to reflect light in a whole myriad of colors, and it's a semi-precious gem, which we refer to as ammonite. Not all preserved specimens of this fossil that you can find in Alberta will necessarily have this, so it's quite rare.
Ammonite is quite rare. It comes from an ancient sea creature called Ammonite placenticeros. It was similar to a squid and lived over 70 million years ago. And while ammonite fossils can be found in various parts of the world, fossils that look like these have only been found in Alberta.
It is the newest gem that's been discovered and approved by the International Gemological Association, and it's only officially been a gem since 1981.
Each piece is different, so you almost feel like you are creating a piece of individual art. I've been in the delightful ammonite business for about 30 years. Most people didn't know what ammonite was at the time.
These creatures lived in an inland sea called the Bear Paw Formation.
The seaway itself was over Western Canada for a much longer period of time, but right towards the end, we call it the Bear Paw Sea, is when these particular ammonites were living in the seaway, which was probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 to 30 meters deep. It extended from roughly about where Calgary is all the way to Manitoba. So it was a broad seaway in that sense, and at its maximum it extended from the Arctic to the Gulf of Mexico. This ammonite, when it was alive, roughly swam in the orientation I'm showing you here. It would have had tentacles that stuck out here, and those have obviously deteriorated after death. And when it died, its shell may have floated for a while or immediately got buried on the seafloor in fine-grained mud. And the Bear Paw Formation is primarily fine-grained mud. And that turns out to be a key aspect of the preservation, is burial in sediments that don't allow a lot of caustic fluids to get at the shell. And so it got preserved in those type of sediments, and then 73 million years later, it gets exposed at the surface or exhumed in a mine, and what you see are these colors here. And the colors themselves, it's still sort of a mystery as to what causes that to happen, because I can show you 100 shells of placenticeros that don't have this for every one that does. But this species is just specific to the bear paw, and that's because of evolution. All ammonites went through fairly rapid evolution so that their forms change through time and they get preserved in different rocks.
It is an organic gem, and every piece is different. So when we mine with equipment as well as by hand. Mother Nature, during the 75 to 73 million years that this was buried, has broken up a lot of pieces. And we pick by hand, and each one of those pieces is a unique gemstone.
These ammonites are mined near the Red Deer and St. Mary rivers and are brought to the Ammonite Factory in Canmore, where they are carefully cleaned and prepared for sale as Ammonite gems.
Had to learn how to cut the gemstone, kind of evolved with it. And basically, I love doing this. I have a passion for cutting the stones, getting it from the raw ground up, etc., and getting it to a finished gemstone.
Not only are the bear paw ammonites rare, no one knows how many of them are left. Chances are supplies are running out.
It cannot be synthetically manufactured. So a lot of gemstones are now lab grown, and results in flawless, beautiful crystals. And there's nothing wrong with that, but they are lab generated. Ours, because we don't know exactly what causes the color, it had to be some combination of factors, everything from something magic in the bear paw shale mud to did they have a different kind of shell chemical composition, and glaciation, river water, the heat and pressure from being buried up to 4 kilometers below the surface of the earth, everything contributed to the fossilization of these. It's a stunning piece of jewelry. It's a conversation piece, and it's a piece of history. Not everybody can get away with wearing a 75 million year old fossil around their neck.